Zachary Baldwin is earning an AB honors degree with a major in art history. His honors thesis is entitled Defining the Creator, Competing Cosmological Narratives and Conceptions of the Sculptor. Zachary is a chapter leader of InterVarsity Christian Fellowship and a member of the Orlando Fencing Club. He has served as the Technologies and Media Coordinator for the Office of Community Engagement and has volunteered at Fern Creek Elementary School. Next year, he will be taking a gap year before applying to graduate schools. Melanie Leon is earning an AB honors degree with a major in biology. Her honors thesis is entitled Medically Relevant Improv, Using Improvisation to Teach Empathetic Communication to Medical Professionals. Melanie has been an integral member of improvisational theater here at Rollins. Additionally, she has served in leadership roles in her sorority, Alpha Omicron Pi, the Order of Omega, and the Student Government Association. She was also a 4-time peer mentor. Before enrolling in graduate school, she plans to travel next year and take larger leadership roles in 2 service organizations within which she has been involved for the past 17 years. Megan Mascarenhas graduates with a major in music and a minor in certification in education. While at Rollins, she has volunteered with Pathways to College and is a member of Omicron Delta Kappa, National Leadership Honor Society, Kappa Delta Pi, International Honor Society in Education, and Pi Kappa Lambda, National Music Honor Society. Megan is currently an alternate for a Fulbright research grant to Norway, where she hopes to conduct musicological research at the University of Oslo. Additionally, she has been accepted into Northwestern University, where she plans to complete a PhD in musicology. Each valedictorian has been asked to address the class of 2014. Zachary will speak first, followed by Melanie and Megan.
Rollins students, faculty, staff, family, and friends, it is an honor to represent the class of 2014 this morning. Now, I want to begin by taking a brief survey. By show of hands, how many of you have watched a Disney movie in the last 2 months? Now, how many of you sang along with it? And be honest. Even better. How many of you have either built with Legos, flown a kite, held a water gun battle, read a storybook, or played with anything labeled for ages 4 and up in the past 8 weeks? Excellent. Well, accordingly, I want to address a quotation that you've likely heard during this graduation season, if only a variation of it. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. Now, we often take this quotation, found in the New Testament epistle of 1 Corinthians, to mean that all elements of childhood are to be abandoned, Legos and Disney movies included. Yet, in the original Greek, the specific word Paul uses for child, nepios, refers to an unenlightened, unintelligible infant, not childhood in general. See, I believe it is in our fear of seeming childish and unintelligent that we often add to the original meaning of Paul's illustration. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret and would have been ashamed if I had been found doing so, reflects C.S. Lewis. Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. Ironically, through the very effort to seem grown up, to appear of age, we actually reveal our own immaturity. Tragically, in our childish pride, we lose something precious. In our fear-driven crusade against appearing like the unenlightened infant, we accept as a permissible casualty the childlike, that unique characteristic of being able to see the world through inquisitive, wonder-filled eyes. Yet, to take the loss of the childlike as tenable collateral damage not only fails to reflect Paul's intended meaning, but it also undermines the spirit of our education at Rollins. After all, a true liberal arts education whets the appetite for inquiry and provides a lifelong feast to satiate our childlike yearnings. Regrettably, as we grow older, the temptation is to ignore curiosity for pragmatism, to forgo the contemplation of beauty for expediency, gazing with fresh eyes at the shimmering bodies of the night sky, or marveling anew at the ingenuity of telephone lines. These moments of wonderment become petty activities in the name of mature enterprise. Class of 2014, we are graduating to a world of careers, graduate studies, and much, much more. While these things are worth celebrating, remember that you are made for more than a job, that you are more than the sum in your bank account or the title that you hold. You were formed with a tremendous propensity to marvel at the world around you. Grow up we must, but we must not let go of the childlike, lest we slip complacently back into unenlightened slumber. Remember, though we put away the nepios, of which Paul speaks, it is the childlike, declares Jesus, who will inherit the kingdom of God. Friends, let us put away childish things, such as arrogance, gossip, greed, and bitterness. But by all means, let us embrace the childlike, inquisitiveness, compassion, humility, and loving kindness. Let us defy that grotesque form of grown-up reasoning that bids us abandon our curious nature and proclivity for awe. Class of 2014, may we step boldly out from the halls of Rollins College into the wide world, tenaciously maintaining our childlike wonder. Congratulations, classmates. May God bless each and every one of us.
Well, hello there, everyone. Hi. So I am about to say something really motivational. I promise I will. But first, let me take a selfie. So this is for real. I'm going to need people to kind of squish together a little bit. It's going to be a whole group thing. This is real. No. There it is. Smile, guys. Perfect. All right, thanks. So for my speech, I am well aware that absolutely no one in this room will remember the words. Heck, in a little bit, I won't remember them. But if I do my job right, hopefully, you will remember the feeling. Reflecting on today, some of you will remember your excitement to graduate. Others will remember the heartache of saying goodbyes. And when I was considering this, I realized that is what we're taking away from Rollins. Feelings towards who we are, who we have met, and what we have done. Whether that be the extreme annoyance you have for the overtalker in your 8 a.m. class, or the hazy excitement of your first house party, we leave with feelings and less so the words. For me, though, strangely enough, the most powerful, motivating feeling that I associate with my college career is a small dose of fear. Now, yes, that sounds weird, but let me explain. One of the first lessons I learned in improv was to run towards fear. Again, this sounds counterintuitive. As survival of the fittest says, flight or fight, and our bodies often tell us to run or be eaten. I am not telling you to stare down a bear, although how freaking awesome would that be? But to embrace the unknown and unexpected. Let me give you a personal example. Here I stand, a girl involved in way too much and responsible for way too many people who still manage to keep up her GPA. I will admit, some people may consider me a hyper planner, and most people assumed I would apply to every graduate school program while finding cures for diseases and doing a one-woman Broadway show. And yet, I did none of that. For the first time in my life, I did not make a plan, and it scared the absolute hell out of me. But I now know that was the best possible choice for me. I now know my next year will be filled with friendship, foreign lands, and brightly colored frozen daiquiris with little umbrellas served to me as I sit by the pool. I took my fear head on and could not be happier. So what I am saying is to embrace random opportunities and people you meet, because you never know where you might find your true passion or best friend. It only takes a split second of courage to change your entire life. Scream the entire way down as you fall through the sky, but take that jump out of the airplane. Walk onto a completely dark stage And the minute the lights come up, dance your heart out like no one is watching, even though you are very well aware that everyone is indeed watching. These are the moments we remember. These are the feelings that stay. We train harder because we were afraid of losing a soccer game. We study longer because we were afraid of failing a calculus exam. We glue chunks of plaster back onto our walls because we are afraid of getting a fine from our RA. I have learned that fear is not negative, but can be used and harnessed to motivate incredible feats if we acknowledge it and work to conquer it, specifically striving to do that which may seem intimidating. Don't be comfortable. Comfortable is boring. Don't keep the mold. It's so overused. Stand up for yourself. Don't back down. Don't stick to the safety net. Embrace your fear. Adrenaline is good. Conquering the trepidation results in the sweetest successes. If it does not scare you a little bit, then you don't care. Those little bits of nerves signal something important to you, so pay attention to them, because they are the cue of what you want to fight for and run towards. Because your life is your own, fear and all. I know that most of you are somewhat nervous to graduate and leave what has been your home for the last 4 years. So what? When we came here, we were scared. And look at the legacy that we are leaving. So suck it up and attack your worries full force, because living by your fear is no way to live at all. Scaring your fear is the way to go. Now, I want you to forget absolutely everything that I've said and just focus on how you feel right now. Remember this moment, because this feeling is what will stay with you. My friends and family, I love you so much, and thank you for your support. To our wonderful faculty, your guidance has been unending. To my classmates, you always impress me. So be you, be different, be unexpected, run towards fear. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2014.
Good morning, President Duncan, members of the Board of Trustees, Provost Bresnahan, Dean Smither, Dean Wellman, members of the faculty, fellow graduates, and family. I am honored to stand before you today as one of the valedictorians to represent the class of 2014. Dear fellow graduates, we are a multifaceted, multi-talented group of students. Yet, we hold one thing in common. We are all seated here today because of the support of our incredible families and the guidance and dedication of our wonderful faculty and staff. When I consider my Rollins journey, gratitude is the one sentiment that stands above all others. When the stress of research projects, final exams, and performances overwhelmed me utterly, my parents reminded me to keep things in perspective and to persevere through all things. My music professors encouraged me to excel beyond my own expectations and explore unfamiliar spheres. The education faculty inspired me to make an impact on others as a teacher. My German professors afforded me the opportunity to step foot on German soil and experience firsthand the German culture. Each and every one of my professors aided me in carving out a purposeful plan, one that combined my passions and my talents. Dear fellow graduates, I know that each of you has encountered faculty who has done the same for you. Professors who have gone over and above their call of duty to give us the strength we need and the guidance we need. I would like for all of us to thank our Rollins faculty and staff for their guidance, support, and encouragement. Thank you for teaching us lessons that extend beyond the classroom. and for investing so generously in our lives. Perhaps the most important thing I learned this year is that with every challenge, there is a lesson to be learned. I devised ambitious plans for my senior year. However, as my struggle with Lyme's disease continued to intensify, I discovered that my body would not cooperate with my will. I realized that my plans and dreams will always be subject to God's perfect will for my life, and His grace is sufficient to carry me through. I surrendered all of my plans and dedicated every moment, every last bit of strength to my student teaching internship, and resolved right then to make a positive impact on the lives of my middle school students. Through this experience, I learned that there is no higher calling than to make a difference in the lives of others. So I challenge you to invest in others just as our Rollins professors have invested in us. In every walk of life, you will meet people whom you may never encounter again. Seize the moment to make an impact. Let every encounter be purposeful and meaningful. Class of 2014, we have a bright future ahead of us. As you embark on this journey, be prepared to embrace the unexpected. Face adversity with determination and resiliency. Be grateful for the opportunities you've had, and do not dwell too long on the opportunities missed. Finally, I leave you with the words of Mark Twain. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So, throw off the bow lines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the fair winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. Thank you, Rollins, and congratulations, class of 2014.